Picture this, it's 1940. Europe, a continent brimming with history and culture, falls like a house of cards in just a matter of weeks. How did Germany achieve this seemingly impossible feat? To answer this, we need to delve into a revolutionary military tactic that emerged during this time, the Blitzkrieg, or Lightning War, as it's known in German. This strategy, as swift and shocking as a bolt of lightning, was born out of the ashes of the First World War. Germany, with her military might severely restricted by the Treaty of Versailles, sought a new way to wage war, one that emphasized speed, surprise, and overwhelming force. The Blitzkrieg was no ordinary strategy. It was a radical departure from the stalemate and trench warfare that had characterized the previous World War. It was about achieving quick victories to avoid prolonged conflict. The key was to strike fast, strike hard, and to keep the enemy off balance. Imagine a boxer, quick on his feet, nimble, and packing a powerful punch. He doesn't wait for his opponent to make a move. He strikes first, catching his opponent off guard, leaving them reeling and unable to counter. That's Blitzkrieg in a nutshell. But how did this strategy come to life on the battlefield? Three elements stood at its core: surprise, speed, and superior firepower. The German forces would concentrate their power on a narrow front, break through enemy lines with a swift and powerful strike, and then encircle and destroy isolated enemy units. This was followed by fast-moving infantry and artillery that would secure the captured territory. The Blitzkrieg was more than just a tactical maneuver. It was a philosophy of war. It was about seizing the initiative, maintaining momentum, and never allowing the enemy to regain their footing. It was a relentless, ruthless, and efficient approach to warfare that leveraged technology, tactics, and the element of surprise to devastating effect. Thus, the Blitzkrieg was not just a military strategy, it was a thunderbolt that changed the face of warfare forever. If Blitzkrieg was the thunderbolt, the Panzer divisions were the iron fist that struck the fatal blow. Picture this, a mechanized force, relentless and unstoppable, that embodied the doctrine of Blitzkrieg, or Lightning War. This was the Panzer Division, a pivotal cog in the Nazi war machine that helped to swiftly conquer Europe during the early stages of World War II. The Panzer divisions were not just an amalgamation of tanks. They were a highly coordinated unit of armor, infantry, and artillery, supported by close air support. This integration of different branches of the military was a revolutionary concept at the time, and it allowed the Panzer divisions to operate independently and adapt quickly on the battlefield. These divisions were equipped with superior technology. The Panzer IV tank, for example, was a marvel of German engineering. With its high-velocity cannon and thick armor, it could outgun and outlast many of its counterparts. But the Panzers were not just about brute force. Their real power lay in their ability to encircle and isolate enemy units, a tactic known as Kesselschlacht, or cauldron battle. This strategy, combined with the shock and awe of the Blitzkrieg, often led to quick surrenders, minimizing German casualties. The Panzer divisions also played a key role in implementing the Schwerpunkt doctrine. This idea, central to the Blitzkrieg, involved concentrating forces at the weakest point in enemy lines to create a breakthrough. Once this was achieved, the Panzers could race through the gap, disrupting communications and supply lines, leaving the enemy disoriented and vulnerable. But it wasn't just about strategies and superior technology. The success of the Panzer divisions also relied heavily on the training and morale of their crews. Panzer crews were drilled rigorously, fostering a sense of camaraderie and a level of proficiency that was hard to match. They were the elite of the German army, and they knew it. This confidence, combined with their formidable machines and innovative tactics, made them a force to be reckoned with. The Panzer divisions were not just tanks. They were the beating heart of the German war machine. While the Iron Fist struck on land, the Eagles ruled the skies. Air superiority played a crucial role in Germany's swift victories. We're talking about the Luftwaffe here, the German Air Force that dominated the European skies during World War II. Not merely a support arm for the ground troops, the Luftwaffe was a key player in the Blitzkrieg strategy. The backbone of the Luftwaffe was its fighter planes, the Messerschmitt Bf 109 and the Focke-Wulf FW 190. These were not just machines of war. They were masterpieces of engineering. Fast, agile, and deadly, they outclassed many of their contemporaries. But it wasn't just about the machines. It was about the men who flew them. The Luftwaffe pilots were some of the best in the world, trained to an extremely high standard and battle-hardened by constant combat. They were the aces of the air, the masters of the sky. And let's not forget about the bombers. The Heinkel He 111, the Junkers Ju 88, and the Dornier Do 17, these were the heavy hitters of the Luftwaffe. They rained destruction down upon enemy cities and installations, sowing fear and chaos. Air superiority in modern warfare cannot be overstated. It provides a strategic advantage, allowing for reconnaissance, troop transport, and direct attacks on enemy positions. It can disrupt supply lines and demoralize the enemy. Simply put, if you control the skies, you control the battlefield. The Luftwaffe understood this. They used their air superiority to devastating effect, supporting ground operations, disrupting enemy movements, and destroying critical infrastructure. They became an integral part of the German war machine, a key factor in their swift victories. But the Luftwaffe's dominance was not unchallenged. The Royal Air Force, the United States Army Air Forces, and the Soviet Air Forces all put up fierce resistance. Yet, for a time, the Eagles ruled the skies. The Luftwaffe didn't just rule the skies, it sealed the fate of nations. Germany didn't just wage a war of guns and bombs, they waged a war on the minds of their enemies. In the grand scheme of warfare, it's often overlooked how crucial the mental battlefield can be. However, during World War II, Germany recognized and exploited this facet of warfare with ruthless efficiency. Let's delve into the world of propaganda, a tool that Germany used to great effect. Propaganda is essentially the dissemination of information, facts, arguments, rumors, half-truths, or lies, to influence public opinion. The Nazis had a ministry of propaganda, headed by Joseph Goebbels, whose sole purpose was to control the narrative both within Germany and abroad. They crafted stories of Aryan supremacy and painted their enemies as subhuman, rallying their own people and dehumanizing their foes. Fear tactics were another significant part of Germany's psychological warfare strategy. The Blitzkrieg or lightning war wasn't just a physical attack, but a psychological one as well. The speed and devastation of these attacks were designed to shock and disorient the enemy, causing panic and confusion. This fear was then used to manipulate the populace and break the will of the enemy's military. Misinformation played a key role too. False intelligence was leaked to misdirect the enemy, leading them to waste resources and make strategic errors. The Germans also spread rumors of their own invincibility, further demoralizing their foes. But why was all this so effective? Because it attacked the enemy where they were most vulnerable, their minds. It sowed discord, spread fear, and shattered morale. It made the enemy question their own abilities and the righteousness of their cause. This invisible battlefront was as crucial to Germany's Blitzkrieg strategy as tanks and artillery. So remember, the battles fought in the mind can be as significant or even more so than those fought on the ground. Psychological warfare was the invisible enemy that turned the tide in Germany's favor. In the end, the mighty continent of Europe fell, not just to an army, but to a meticulously planned and flawlessly executed strategy. France, the so-called impenetrable fortress, crumbled under the weight of the Blitzkrieg. The panzer divisions sliced through the French defenses like a hot knife through butter, and the Eagles dominated the skies, silencing the French Air Force. The fortress was breached, and the French spirit was shattered. Belgium and the Netherlands suffered a similar fate. The Dutch waterline, once thought to be an unassailable defensive barrier, was rendered useless by the German paratroopers. Belgium, despite its valiant resistance, was overwhelmed by the relentless onslaught of the panzer divisions. Norway and Denmark were subdued not just by the German military might, but by the insidious psychological warfare that sowed discord and confusion among their ranks. The invisible enemy had struck, and it struck hard. Poland, the first to face the wrath of the German war machine, was crushed between the iron fists of Germany and the Soviet Union. Despite their brave resistance, the Polish forces were no match for the combined might of these two superpowers. And then there was the United Kingdom, the last bastion of resistance. Despite the relentless bombing campaign, the British stood firm, a testament to their indomitable spirit. But even they could not stem the tide of the German advance. In the east, the Baltic states and the Balkans were swept up in the German vortex of destruction. The rapid and ruthless German advance left these nations in ruins, their armies decimated, and their people in despair. The fall of Europe was not just a military conquest. It was a psychological, technological, and strategic victory for Germany. The elements of blitzkrieg, the panzer divisions, air superiority, and psychological warfare. They all played a crucial role in the fall of Europe. Europe didn't just fall to Germany, it fell to a new era of warfare.